تفضل.
Yeah. I'm just now in Shifa Hospital, and I'm trying just to be sure that our staff are in their positions and they can do something for the patients under this very critical situation. Actually, now going from one room to another, and most of the patients now in the corridor while there is complete blackout. And even our staff, they are unable to recognize who is still alive and who's died under this very critical situation with complete darkness. Now there is no fuel and no electricity, and because of that, all of the services now is out of service. We are talking about the ICU, we are talking about the hemodialysis, we are talking about the neonatal ICU, we are talking about the theater, the lab, the blood bank. All the services now out of service. Unfortunately, we are unable to do anything for our patients. They are dying in front of our eyes while our heart is broken, but unfortunately we are unable to do anything. Not only that, even the killed people, the murdered people who reached the hospital 3 days or 4 days before, now all of them, now they are analyzed with very offensive odor, and unfortunately there is some dogs reach the hospital and they are starting to eat part of those people. The situation is so critical. No one can imagine what is going on in the ground. Our staff now, they are unable to have just to drink. There is no food, no electricity, as I said. Unfortunately, yes, 2 or 3 days before, you know that Rantisi Hospital and Nasser Hospital and the Eye Hospital and the psychiatric hospital, all of them were evacuated obligatory while the Israeli tanks were surrounding them, and most of the cases are transferred outside to the street while 8 of them were under ventilator. Unfortunately, they shifted out to the street without any coordination, and I can guess the 8 cases actually died. Now we transferred some of the neonatal ICU where they are in need for heat, they are in need for monitoring, they are in need for special circumstances to complete their life. Unfortunately, there is no oxygen, there is no electricity and no heat, and now we succeed to transfer them to another place where there is a solar system, but unfortunately the incubator can't work. So now we lost 3 out of the 39 units who are there. Again, we lost many of the cases while they are waiting for surgery, but unfortunately we are unable to do for them any type of surgery. 2 of the adult cases in the ICU passed away while we are unable to do anything for them as there is no electricity and no monitoring. This is the situation. And unfortunately, even the waste, you can imagine that the sanitation and the waste and all of the medical waste, we are unable to shift any of them out the different departments. Anyone who can move inside, please just to note that inside Shifa Hospital, anyone who can move inside Shifa Hospital from building to another, he will be shooted. Unfortunately, they shoot our colleague Haitham Shubair directly in his neck while he's trying just to support the unit with a cylinder of oxygen and trying to do his best just to let them complete their life after they shooting the oxygen generator. There was an old wheel. They shoot the wheel just not to have even 1 drop of water. They drop, as I mentioned, the OR, which is the system which is responsible for the hemodialysis, and now even without electricity there is no hemodialysis. They completely destroy the old cardiovascular department. They shoot it directly the ICU many times, and I was just now in the ICU while our patients are there. They are suffocated and they are struggling, and no one can even able to do anything for them. This situation is so complex. On the other hand, most now there is no place for the women. Any women want to get delivery, there is no place for her. Any woman, she was planned for cesarean section, she will die at her home while she is unable to move. All the children with the hemodialysis now, they are dying silently while they are either in shelters or in their home, while there is no place for hemodialysis. All the patients with cancer now, they are dying again silently while they are unable to reach these services. And the only two hospitals, that one for the adults, which is the Turkey hospital, and the other one, the Rentisa hospital for cancer cases, both of them now closed after being targeted many times and after lacking fuel. And this hospital, the only hospital which is well prepared for management and for managing the cancer cases with the setup like laminar flow machine. And now all of the cases are lacking the services and dying again silently. And today all of these pictures, previously a lot of victims were there under the media focus, but till now, unfortunately, our patients are dying silently without even one picture to the world. It seemed to be that our blood making some of the people feeling guilty. So now they decide even not to see our blood and not to see our fragments and not to see our children while they are killed. Yesterday, our colleague, he is a very famous one. He's called Dr. Khalilah. He is just a few meters away from the hospital. He was targeted, his family, while there are as innocent people in their home. And unfortunately, he passed away while he was waiting for the ambulance, while the ambulance is unable to reach him. Not he is alone, he and his family, all of his family. Again, another of our colleagues, he is called Dr. Hammam. He is a famous specialist in nephrology. Again, he faced the same fate while we were unable to do for him anything. He called us many times, and unfortunately he died in his place while we were unable to evacuate him. No one is allowed to go outside Shifa. No one is allowed to come to Shifa. No one is allowed now to be evacuated from his position even after he is targeted with this air force strike. That's the situation. It's very miserable. No one can imagine what is going on the ground. It's completely miserable condition. And now we are just counting our patients one by one while they are dying one by one.
Thank you very much, Doctor.